Hi everybody, I'm Jen with Allegory Gallery and JNT Creations in Ligonier, Pennsylvania. Thanks for tuning in again today. I have another fun, quick tutorial for us. So please like, share, subscribe, comment. Let us know what we're doing right, let us know what we're doing wrong, and give us some ideas of what you'd like to see us create in the future. Let's get started. Alrighty, so I'm going to show you another component today that's super quick. It's a great little connector, and because they're so short or it doesn't take a lot of time to make, I will actually show you how to make these cute little earrings that I've done using the connectors. You can also use them in a bracelet. That's what I've done with these ones here. Anything you can use a connector for, you can use these little guys for. And they're super easy, super cute. We're going to use 18 gauge wire to make them. And this is dead soft copper I'm using today. I have, for one pair of earrings, you're going to need 4 2.5-inch pieces. And I've got 2 ball pins, 2 little dangles. This is a 6mm bead that will fit inside this. The connector I'm going to show you, you can go up to an 8mm bead, but if you're going to go with a bigger bead or a smaller bead, you're going to have to play around with your gauges a little bit. And then I have 2 3-inch pieces of 20 gauge for our ear wires. And right here, I've got 3 extra little pieces so I can show you the connectors and you'll really get it down pat. All right. Some handy tools, your nylon coated pliers so you can smooth out your wire. Flush cutters, flat nose, bent nose, either a round nose plier or this is a multi-tier tool so you can make 6 different sizes. And then I've got 2 different sizes of chain nose pliers. So let's get started. I'm kind of going to do these in little assembly line. This first one here, go to the very end, and you're going to make a closed loop. You're going to turn it around and in the opposite direction. So this one's going down, this one's going to go this way. You're going to make another closed loop. Okay. Now we're going to take our bent nose pliers and we're going to coil the wire up on itself in 2 different directions. And this one we are going to do 2 complete rotations. 1 full rotation is when you see that little end from your loop. When you've completed a turn there. So look, there's where our end is. We've gone once around. There, that'll be good. So coil it up on itself on the other end in the opposite direction. And if you have to play with it a little bit, that's just fine. I did go a little too far with the one, so you see me, I'm backing it up a little bit. Okay. So you want those 2 ends to be even. And now what we're going to do is use either our flat nose or your chain nose. You could use the bent nose too. I'm going to line those up with the edge of that last with the coil, and then I'm going to do a 90-degree bend. I'm going to flip it around, and I'm going to do the exact same thing and turn it towards this one so they're both facing each other. And there you have somewhere, where did it go? There we go. You have this super cute little bead cap that's going to add a lot of bling to a plain and simple little bead. All right, let's do that again. Grab the end, make a closed loop, make a closed loop, opposite directions. Take my bent nose pliers, coil that up on itself. Okay, so for those of you who really want to know the distance left between, there's about 5.5 millimeters in between each one. Maybe we'll close that just a little bit more. So your piece is going to look kind of like that. There's 2 complete rotations. Take our flat nose, 90-degree bend, turn it around, and another bend. You want those 2 loops parallel to one another. Not up, not down, not to the side, parallel. So you have kind of like a little N or Z. Let's do one more together and then we'll work on our earrings. Closed loop. Closed loop. Two rotations. Again, you can change the look of these by using a rubber mallet or a textured mallet and pounding them out just a little bit. You don't want to pound them too hard because you don't want to lose that spiral shape. It just adds a little fun look, some texture. 90-degree bend. And 90-degree bend. Very cute. Now let's do our earrings. So I'm going to take another 2.5-inch piece of 18 gauge wire. I'm going to make 2 head pins. So I did another coil at the end. But before I pull my tool out, what I'm going to do is bend that back just a squinch. And there you have a nice little eye pin. I think I called it a head pin, but it's an eye pin. If you're going to use this as the bead that dangles, then you would use a head pin. Okay, so there's one. Closed loop. Just bend it back a little bit so I have a nice little bend in it. Our next thing is to put one end of that bead cap through. Put our 6mm bead into it. Kind of bring it to the end. And now you're going to need to work that bead into that bead cap and push the rest of it all the way through that head pin for the little connector. So cute. Slide it all the way down. Okay, and we want our loops for this one to go in the same direction. So I'm going to do 90-degree bend. Get my pliers in there, do another round loop. I want that nice and flush up against the bead cap. And then I'm going in with my flush cutters. The flat part I want facing outward when I cut. This way I will not have a burr and I'll be able to close that loop completely. Because if you cut it with the triangular side, then you're going to be left with a burr. And we don't want that. Open that up a little and just get a little bit closer. It is very beneficial to have nice, sharp flush cutters. Do not cheap out when you buy your flush cutters. That is one tool that will wear out very quickly. All right, that is super cute, isn't it? Okay, let's do one more. Through one end, load up our bead. And then drop your head pin so you lose your holes. Sometimes you'll have to work it a little bit if that top hole is not quite centered. That's really uncentered. Let's try the other one, just for time purposes. Okay. This is easier to do when you're not on camera. It's right there. It's just getting caught on that last coil. Well, you saw the other one slipped on real easy. There we go. Okay. Just adjust everything if it got out of shape. Okay. 90-degree bend. Make that top loop in the same direction your other one went. Sometimes you'll have to snip that loop just a little bit more. And then close her up. And there's two. Okay, let's do our ear wires. So this is two 3-inch pieces of 20 gauge. I'm going to go about a third of the way down, made a 90-degree bend, and now I'm using my thumb to push those up and around until I can't go any further. Take one off. Now complete that rotation. So you have this eye pin. Open that up. Now this is where you have to do a little paying attention. If you want that little spiral to be in the front, you got to pay attention to how you load that on your ear wire. I went through my loop with the spiral part facing downward. I'll show you that one more time when we do the other one. So I'm going to coil around 1, 2, 3 times. Notice every time I go to one side of the wire or the other, I let go with my tool and I reposition. I only hold my working wire by the end so I don't mar up all the rest of that working wire. Using that flat part of the flush cutter and just squeezing that end coil in tight. Okay. We're going to do a little 90-degree bend right at the top of that coil with the ear wire or the loop for the ear wire. Facing it downward so we're not looking through it. And now I am using the large part. That's step number 5 on the multi-tool. You could use a Sharpie or a smooth pencil. You could get away with using a dowel on this one because it's not completely closed. So I just did a little loop like that. I'm coming in with my flat nose, grabbing that wire even with the bottom of that last coil. And I'm going to just bend it outwards, about 45-degree turn there. And I'm going to snip off that end. We have a nice little ear wire. Let's repeat that again. Complete that loop. Take it off your tool. Open it just a little bit to the side so that you can put your link through. Now, the side that has the little wire crossing the front of the bead, I am turning that down and feeding that through. My loop. I didn't open it quite enough. Okay. Holding straight across that eye. Starting position, Grabbing the end, going around 1, 2, and 3 times. Snipping off the end. Tuck that last coil in. At the top of that coil, the eye is facing down so I can't look through it. I can make that 90-degree bend. Right at that bend, going all the way around. And then my flat nose at that last coil. And snip the end off. You might want to take a nail file to the ends of your ear wires because they still could be a little bit sharp and pokey. They'll rub up against behind your ears and you'll be uncomfortable. And yep, we are twinsies right here. So I've got a couple of ball pins here. I'm going to load these cute little Czech glass flowers onto. I'm going to do a quick 90-degree bend at the top of that flower, leaving enough room between the flower and the top of my tool to do about 2 or 3 coils. Taking my round nose, going in that bend, up and around, rotate it. Straighten everything up. Okay. I'm going to open this just enough to slip it onto the bottom of that connector. I'm grabbing that eye straight across. And I'm going to close this up with about 2 or 3 coils. And I like to go back up on it, so I'm working back up in the opposite direction. Kind of makes a nice little thick coil there and doesn't waste all that head pin or your ball pin. Just tucking that end. Make sure you do not crack your bead. That would be bad. You'll be unhappy. There we go. And you can do some liver of sulfur to oxidize this. Mine does not match my antique copper ball pens, but I did not have any with me. I suppose I could have made them. Okay, slipping that through. Doing the same 2 coils and then coil it up. Tuck your end in. There's just a little bit too much to go around that loop. I'm going to snip a tiny little bit off. But there you have it. Another earring. Super quick. This one's got banana shape. Really great project. Have fun. Play around with your beads. Play around with your wire texture. You can have all kinds of fun. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you had fun. As always, I had a blast. Please let us know what you'd like to see in any future videos. Let us know what we're doing right. Let us know what we're doing wrong. And like, share, hit the subscribe button, and share your creations on Allegory Design Challenges on Facebook. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.